Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Is it plugged though?
Well, not technically, but wow. So your air is supposed to come in here. And makes this vibrate. That's what gives your sound goes out your vehicle.
How are we all doing today? So it's been about a week now since I uploaded my rewind video, and I've been taking a bit of a break, mostly because we've been doing the same thing every day. Basically just chores and then working on the truck. And we just got done working on the rear end of Big Red. That was kind of repetitive, so I didn't want to just make videos on the same thing over and over again. But when we do the trailer, I'm gonna record that for sure. So anyway, as far as what we've done so far on Big Red, we just took the air horns off. I'm gonna get back to that in a moment. So if you guys are interested in the horns on Big Red, that were on Big Red, I might be doing something with them this Saturday, so keep an eye out. But looking at the rear end on Big Red right now, new torque rods, we have new brake drums, new brakes, new wheel seals, new wheels, and some new bearings. On some of them, the bearings had some scratching in them, so we replaced both of them if one of them was bad, and I think we replaced roughly half of them. I can't remember which ones we replaced. But 3 of the wheel seals were out on Big Red, and they were throwing oil up onto the rear of the cab, which that's one of the things you can look for. Not really sure if you can see it now. Oh yeah, you can see some of the spatter. But that is one of the signs that it is throwing oil, and hopefully we've resolved that problem. But we've got new airbags. We've got 2 new airlines that run up underneath. Actually, one runs up to the front. One of the airlines from back here runs up underneath the cab, actually up front, I believe, to the firewall. What happened is on these airlines here, there are little bolts, you could say, little threads, and you can screw these little zip tie deals onto them that are meant to hold the airlines and whatever else in place. Well, basically all of them are broken. So what was happening were the airlines were rubbing on that thread, and they exposed the line, and we were having air loss issues pretty severely, actually. Just 2 days ago, I think it was 2 days now, I fired it up because it was all back together and I wanted to see how well it could hold the air. I fired it up early in the afternoon, and it inflated the airbags, and it kept the airbags inflated after I shut it off until that evening, which is like a new record for this thing. Basically, whenever you would shut it off before, it would lose air pressure in about 5 minutes for the entire truck. So we fixed that. That's a big issue that needed resolving. There are still air leaks underneath the dash in the front, but basically what keeps happening up there is we fix one and we find 5 more. And I know that that's pretty well a common issue for trucks. I don't really expect that we're gonna find every single little air leak. She holds air well enough now that I am happy with it. We're gonna have a look and see where that's coming from though, because it just bothers me, you know? But we drained the differential, both the back and front. Now that one up there we have draining at this moment. We found gear oil on Amazon for about 400 bucks that should get us filled back up. We wanted to just drain it because we did everything else on the rear end here and made sure that everything else was good. So that's another thing that needed it. There's a little vent here. I still have to take the one up off the front. You can't really see it that well, but it just screws out. It's a little vent, so if there are any temperature variations, that's supposed to help maintain equilibrium pressure inside the differential. So new torque rods, I don't know if I mentioned that. All new airbags. What we're working on right now is the cab suspension. So there are 2 dampeners and 2 airbags on the back of the truck. We have both airbags off and one of the dampeners off. The one dampener was a real fight. Dad and I spent at least probably an hour and a half trying to get it off because the bushings on the end of the dampener, which this is the dampener right here. This is the one we have to take off yet. See these bushings here, how they're all dry rotted? On the other side, it was essentially cemented in to the bolt that's on there, and we couldn't get them off. So eventually we just ground the bolts off, and the other one came off pretty easily then. We're probably gonna end up doing the same to this side. We were a little hesitant too, just because the fuel tank is like right there, but eventually that's what it came to. So here's the airbag. It's a bit dry rotted. Now these are about 40 bucks a piece. Really not that much cheaper than we got the airbags for back there. So that's just one of the projects that we're working on right now on the truck. I just want to give you guys a little update on what we've been up to and what we've been working on. She's coming along, and I'm looking forward to getting the trailer done as well. We did work on the front right steer brake. Well, the issue that I was having with the truck before we did work on it was whenever I'd push the brake in, it would lunge to the right. And we fixed that, and now this truck drives like a dime, let me tell you that. So I'm looking forward to driving it this spring. Yesterday, Dad and I took the air horns off of Big Red because they were not producing a sound. And we took the one off, and there was a chunk of metal that was broken out from the inside. So what was happening was the air was coming through the air hose. Since it's a pull cable in the cab which releases the air through, it's not electric controlled, but you pull on that, and then it releases air through the valve, which comes up through here, and there's the diaphragm, this little piece of metal, just sits on there like that. So what's supposed to happen is the air is supposed to build pressure in here, and it's supposed to push its way past the diaphragm, push the diaphragm up, and then the air escapes down through the trumpet. So what is happening is it's bypassing that, since that chunk of metal is missing. Now, the diaphragms were actually locked in there pretty good, but we got them loose. The other one was locked in as well. It wasn't producing a sound, but we put it back together, and it is producing a pretty solid tone now. And since I don't need both of these, since I got a pretty good deal on a new set of air horns, I decided that I'm not just going to throw these away. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is during our live stream tomorrow afternoon, which I'm probably going to live stream around 5 p.m. Central, if you're interested, is I'm probably just going to give them to the 2 highest donators for the super chat. And that way, if you guys are interested, you know, I can send them to you. It's not just throwing these away. They can actually go somewhere where people can just, you know, put them on a wall or do something with, I don't know. Kind of like I did with the GMC logo off my truck. So anyway, they actually make diaphragm kits that you can change everything in here, but I'm not totally sure if you can replace this piece. It looks like you can, but I tried taking those out, and I know that I'm just going to strip the screws. So rather than trying to do more to it than I don't really have to, like I said, I'm just probably going to give them to whoever donates the most during our live stream tomorrow. So keep an eye out. Like I said, a live stream tomorrow afternoon, 5 p.m., probably for at least an hour, and just talk to you guys about what's been going on around the farm. I haven't been posting a lot because there's not a lot going on other than a lot of paperwork with taxes and everything. This time of year is so much fun. So yeah, keep an eye out. I'll start uploading more and more in frequency as time goes on. I'm just enjoying taking a break because this allows me to work on other stuff. Last year, especially, I struggled to upload at the same time as I was, you know, doing all this extra paperwork. So with that, yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching our videos. Be sure to check out the rewind again if you guys loved it. I see that it's doing fairly well. So yeah, thanks for watching our videos, guys. Be sure to check out all of our other ones. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. And photobomb! I was going to say see you next time, but photobomb works too.